I keep having nightmares about the monster I saw in a scary movie. I can't stop thinking about it.
The best way to stop thinking about it is to replace it with something good. Guess what? You're listening to Keys for Kids, and my name is Zach. I'm so glad you joined me today. Let's get started. If I told you not to think about a purple elephant, what are you thinking about right now? Probably a purple elephant, right? Well, it works the same way with bad thoughts. If you try not to think of a scary monster, you'll likely think about it and then have nightmares. Instead, replace the negative thought with a good thought. Think of a toy starting from A to Z, or memorize Bible verses and recite them as you go to sleep. Here's a good one to get you started. Psalm 139, verse 23. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. Our story today is called Crowded Out. At the breakfast table, Everly plopped down across from her brother Anthony. I had another nightmare last night, she said with a sigh. Anthony looked up from his cereal. The one about a giant hairy bat with a gazillion bulging eyes, like the creature in that movie you saw? Yep, Everly said wearily. That's the one. What's the big deal, Everly? Asked Anthony. Why don't you just forget that thing? You shouldn't think about it right before you go to sleep. In fact, if I were you, I wouldn't think about it anymore at all. Are you sure about that, Anthony? Let's try something, said Mom. Right now, I want you not to think about a walrus wearing a red polka-dot swimsuit. She paused, and then she asked, What are you thinking of? Well, Anthony sighed, figuring he might as well tell the truth. In my mind, I see a walrus splashing around in the water wearing a really funny-looking swimsuit. Exactly. Just saying you won't think about something isn't enough, said Mom. If you really want to stop thinking about it, try replacing those thoughts with something else. Like what? Anthony asked. How about something that's beautiful? Mom suggested. Like the woods around Grandma's cottage? Asked Everly. Or a humongous pepperoni pizza? Asked Anthony with a chuckle. Now that's beautiful. Mom laughed. Yes, both of those pictures are beautiful in their own way. Another idea is to think about a good story or song, maybe something you learned at church. Or try to think of a Bible verse that begins with the letter A, then B, and so on. That will help you remember the beautiful truth that you belong to Jesus, who is more powerful than anything bad you could ever think of. So it's kind of like crowding out the bad with the good, right? Asked Everly. You've got the idea, said Mom. Crowd out those bad thoughts with good things. Everly nodded. Okay, tonight when I go to bed, I'm going to try it. She grinned. I know. Before I go to sleep, I'll try to think of Bible characters starting with all the letters of the alphabet, all the way from Andrew to Zacchaeus. So how about you? Do you struggle with unwanted thoughts that pop into your head? When you try not to think of those thoughts, do you end up thinking about them even more? Replace them with better thoughts instead. Try counting your blessings or naming some from A to Z. See how many Bible stories you can remember. Share your scary thoughts with Jesus so he can remind you he is more powerful than they are. Let the beauty of his truth and love crowd out unwanted thoughts. Our key verse is Psalm 139, verse 23.
Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thought.
And our key thought for today, replace unwanted thoughts. If you love the Keys for Kids stories every day, now you can read them on your Nook or Kindle. Grab a parent and go to keysforkids.org, then click Shop. Jump into His Word today with Keys for Kids and get the ebook at keysforkids.org. I'm Zach. Thanks for listening to Keys for Kids.